This one's for those of you who are in a relationship. Although it can be applied to any relationship, whether that's mother-daughter, with your parents, friends, family, doesn't have to be your relationship, intimate partner. Although I'm speaking to my experience of that. And this is the one thing that has really helped transform my connection and experience with intimate partners. And the one question that can kind of get me through anything, any tension, any tightness, any kind of issue or friction, misunderstanding, miscommunication, disconnect with my partner is the question, what would love do now? Because whenever I'm in a tension, a tightness, a friction, a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, it's usually because love has disappeared somewhere. And someone's been triggered, somebody's in a pain body response, somebody's wounded, triggered, whatever it is, and therefore the sponsoring thought is fear instead of love. So we have only two options of sponsoring thought. And I like to think in terms of thought because it's metaphysical. So if the sponsoring thought has come from fear, you'll have one trajectory. And if the sponsoring thought has come from love, you have the other trajectory. So in a relationship, if things are missing, if things are tense or tight, you've usually got the sponsoring thought coming from fear, not love. And to make that switch back over and find your sponsoring thought of love, the question that I ask is, what would love do now? Can I find my way back to my sponsoring thought of love? Because that's the only frequency that's going to get me somewhere that can alchemize this situation. And it works every time. And it's such a relief. And I go, okay, what would love do now? Where am I resisting? How I've disconnected? My sponsoring thought is fear. And even if their sponsoring thought is fear, you're usually kind of meeting that. And you're like, yeah, I'm just not going to... And if you ask, what would love do now? Then you can kind of come in a frequency that then reminds them to find that match. That makes sense. It's really useful. And I absolutely love it. Such a good one. And such a quick and easy kind of thing to remember. And if you're finding, okay, I'm going through a lot of hiccups in relationships at the moment. I can't seem to find my footing. There's no kind of one easy cardinal root thing that's just going to help me find that solution every time. Write that phrase on a post-it or somewhere easily accessible, fridge door, or draw a flower or something with the phrase written around and put it all over the kitchen or somewhere where you're going to see it, so that you've got that nice anchor in to remind you. Put it in your car, wherever, somewhere where you go to be like, and then then it will help you just to anchor that in and to find that sponsoring thought of love. And then you can find your access to your communication, and yeah, it's a good road in. Not that it's fault proof, everything has their caveat and there's always an exception to the rule, but for the most part, this should really help you out. Hope you try.